Tip number 5 is providing a calendar for course meetings and assignments. And we often list things in a nice little table or a grid, but finding a way to have an interactive calendar can be pretty powerful, or finding a way for students to visually see that everything in red on my list of assignments are homework assignments. Everything in blue is a reading assignment, or something to really break things up for students. Can be really powerful. I see people try to do that, and then sometimes it looks so busy I can't even make sense of it. So that's something we can work on with you to think about as you go forward. Tip number 6 comes in 2 parts. And the first part is just thinking in general how to make your office hours easier to attend. And I don't know if office hours are important to you. Some campuses tell me they're very important. Some campuses tell me they're not so important. But thinking about offering multiple locations and modes to meet with students, whether you're willing to do it on chatting or email or Skype, or finding accessible location. I know when I taught at the University of Michigan, my office, I never could find my office, to tell you the truth. I was a graduate student, and it was so far away, and up these stairs and down another set of stairs, and there was no way anybody with a disability would ever be able to access it or even find me. So I often just met in the coffee shop. Nowadays, I have all my office hours virtually, because and we meet on Skype, or we meet on other platforms, mostly because I live in California and I'm not near my students, but it's also a really great way to connect with students that way. The second tip for office hours is to give a map to your office. As I was describing, when I taught at the University of Michigan, it was impossible to find my office. You can even give directions from the classroom to the office if that's important to you, because it's really, again, valuing that interaction you can have with students and making yourself accessible to them can often give that extra boost for students to be successful. Okay, tip number 7. Oh, this is a little blurry, and I apologize for that. But one of the things I know that Cindy, who worked on this project last year with me, found really useful is trying to think about how to use graphics to represent abstract concepts. Sometimes students have no idea what you mean when you say your midterm and your final is 50% of your grade. That just, oh, what does that mean? But if you show it on a pie chart like this, it can really start to resonate with them. Oh, wow, my participation is worth 33%. That's a big part of that pie. This is where just using the numbers versus using a graphic representation can be very powerful. Any questions on this so far? And now I have Moodle and Blackboard, and now you guys are going to Canvas, but just making sure you post materials online. I think that's just, it seems like it's old news and everybody's doing it, but I go to campuses and a lot of people aren't doing it still. And if you really want to make things universally accessible for students who are working, busy people, have disabilities, making sure that you post them online, and you post them online in an accessible way. And that's tip number 8. We'll go to tip number 9.
Jean has a comment.
Go ahead, Jean.
I recommend they have consistency in posting so students know when to expect that something will be posted. Because if it comes late, it comes early, all over the place, they start to feel hurt.
She says consistency of posting so that they know when to expect that there's going to be a posting, so they know to go look.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency of knowing, okay, I will always post the materials on Wednesday by noon. That's what I say to my students. On Wednesday by noon, they'll be posted. And I also say, I will respond to you within 24 hours, 48 hours. I teach a fully online course, but I want them to know you will hear back from me within this time period. And if I'm going away, I even tell them I'm going to be on a plane for 12 hours. You will not hear from me. I'm very kind of transparent that way, so people aren't sitting around waiting. I also encourage you, I've seen a lot of Blackboard sites that are very busy and hard to understand and not well organized. So I also suggest you be really judicious. You don't put everything and the whole ship up there. You put the most important things and you let them know these are required, these are suggested, or something like that. Because sometimes we get a little excited. Oh, look at all these materials I can share with my students now that it's online. Too much sometimes, frankly, is too much. And it's overwhelming to students, and they don't know how to cull through that, or what they really have to do or not do, and then they just may not do it. And that kind of goes with, whoops, these slides are going a little touchy today. This is back to my syllabus. And I have this statement here at the bottom. So the tip is to explain policies in plain language. And I don't think students really understand when you say tardy, absent, and ill-prepared students will be penalized. Well, what do I mean by that? It says, I will take attendance. Excessive absences will negatively affect your grade. this one doesn't have the piece in here about plagiarism, but some students have no idea what plagiarism is. They should know by the time they get to college. Of course they should know. But if they don't really understand what these policies are, taking some time to explain them. I've worked with some campuses who actually look at their student handbooks and they realize that some of the policies and the things that are written up in there are not accessible to students. They don't understand what you're saying. What does the word registrar mean? You know, what does harassment mean? I don't know if I really know what that means. Even though it's defined in maybe a legal term in your handbook, it may not be in a language that students are going to understand and be able to take to heart and be successful. So I encourage you to think about that. I actually, after I did this presentation once, went to a college and somebody came back, she goes, I've changed my entire syllabus. I'm not making it look like a syllabus anymore. I'm going to call it an invitation to learn. And she changed the entire thing to be an invitation. It was no longer written in this syllabus-ese kind of language. And it was talking about all the things you can do and please come and I invite you to do this versus tardy, absent, ill-prepared students will be penalized. So there's lots of ways to kind of open up how you might want to think about this. And my last tip, and I am on time. How do you like that? How do you like that, Laura? Tip number 10, so the 10 tips here, is to use a template to plan how you will transform your syllabus. And I say that because we're going to do this after Jean talks a little bit about some of the technology available, but you could just jump in and start changing things. But you might really want to be thoughtful. Okay, what do I traditionally have for my course name? If I want to have at least one more strategy for doing this, what might a strategy be useful to change my course name? And what steps do I need to do that? And what I mean, so for example, if we're talking about my personal name, my traditional method of display would be my name or Molly Boyle. My UCD strategies might be to show a picture. The steps necessary to fulfill that would be to get a good picture that I'm willing to share or find a picture that I'm okay with sharing. So all those pieces there have to be kind of thought out before you do it. Some people can just jump right in and start changing something and feel good about it. And that's all obviously your personal learning style. But we will share this template with you and we'll spend some time doing that. And then my last tip, other part of tip 10, is to ask for help. And the really cool part about this project is you have access, not that I'm really cool, but you have access to me. And I'm here to help you. And I'm here to okay, I don't know how to do this. Or this is what I'm thinking, can you give me some feedback? And that's the really nice thing that we've been able to arrange, is that you have a national expert at your fingertips if you choose to be part of this project. You also have Jean and Laura, who are amazing people with a lot of amazing skills. And you have the people sitting next to you who will be participating in this project in addition to the ones who did it last year. So that's what's really important, I think, about really good course redesign. It's never done in isolation. It's done as a workshop, as a collaboration, and as a team of people working together. Is it hard to get a lot of people together, especially when you're in the middle of a semester? Of course it is. But it's really important to start thinking about the community that you can work with to do that. I think that's it from, I have a little slide here, just kind of review what we said, which is a traditional syllabus will focus on negative, penalties for assignments, plagiarism. A UD syllabus would focus on a variety of levels and opportunities to learn. A traditional syllabus would not have a lot of white space. It would be a lot of text, and where a universally designed syllabus would have white space used to graphically chunk information. A traditional syllabus, information is really presented in one way only. That's it, text, right? Where a universally designed syllabus presents information in multiple formats, inaccessible formats that students can customize if they want to. Traditional syllabus has text in paragraph form, and a universally designed syllabus has bullets, key points highlighted with font or with color or things like that. So that's kind of an overview of what I'm hoping we can start to accomplish today. You can't change a syllabus in a day or a workshop, but you can get a really good head start on it. I also will say everybody's going to be coming at this from different places. Some people have obviously graphic design background. Some people have technical background using computers. Some people do not. It's all about just trying to change your place of thinking and taking wherever your syllabus happens to be right now and moving it one step forward. There's no ultimate perfect syllabus out there. It's really about what you're ready to do and what is most important for your area of academic study.